So yes, I thought that I would cover this after a listener came across an ad on Facebook, which was pumping a new AI or artificial intelligence stock named Vigano Foods Inc. or VAGN on the Canadian Securities Exchange, which supposedly has explosive potential. So let's play the ad that I came across, or that this person came across, and then I will dive into the company.
New stock on the block, so let's talk.
Vegano Foods is the company.
7 cents to the price, and AI's looking real nice. The internet made millionaires, crypto made billionaires, and AI, well, that can make trillionaires. So what? The whole sector's in what I call the Goldilocks zone. This is a period in time where you know it's going to be big, you just don't know how big.
And with a company like Vegano,
you might just be able to catch that wave up. So,
what's so attractive about Vegano?
For starters, their market cap is smaller than Elon's dinner bill, and the share structure is tighter than a Swedish chick's. Meaning if AI actually does become this $15 trillion industry and Vegano's AI super app becomes a relevant part of it, then their $800,000 market cap could blow up like Oppenheimer's bomb. It's a new industry and a new company, which always involves risk. But so is investing in crypto before that caught on. And how do you think those guys are feeling right now?
So yeah, if you want to learn more about Vegano, their AI super app, and the industry in general, just head to our website. We've got a free report up there.
Okay. So now getting into the company here, although the ad introduces Vegano as an AI stock, in reality, the company is a Vancouver-based business that was founded in March of 2020 and sells vegan grocery and household staples to end customers on the Vegano marketplace or veganofoods.com. So right now, the stock trades at about 11 cents and has about a $2.1 million market cap. But VHLA's pitch, which is who made this ad that I just showed you, is that Vegano is a supplement technology company that will disrupt the supplement sector with AI and possibly offer life-changing gains with their AI app, which can help an individual understand their body type and direct them to Vegano supplements that are right for them. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can see on the screen here that VHLA Media's top 8 reasons investors should consider Vegano are up on the screen. And I will go over a couple of those reasons. So reason number 5, they say, at 7.5 cents, the stock is one of the cheapest opportunities to reap the benefits in AI. No, it isn't. They're conflating price versus value. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. With Vegano, you are getting a company with a track record of mass dilution, no revenue, and no profitability. Okay, so there's that one. Now, reason number 6 they have here, low downside risk and exponential upside potential. No, the downside risk is very high. They even go on to say, with reason number 8, that the stock can offer potential venture capital-like gains. By definition, venture capital investing has high downside risk. Now, reason number 7 I also wanted to go over, and this is my favorite. It's quite laughable. Only 19 million shares outstanding, and they have in brackets, very clean share structure and tightly held. Again, this is absolutely laughable. The company did a 10-for-1 share consolidation back in October of 2022, reducing its shares outstanding from 87 million shares to 8.7 million shares. And now the company has already diluted shareholders back up to 19 million shares, which I will get into shortly. And of course, now after saying all of this, Vegano is paying VHLA Media $25,000 to conduct this marketing campaign. So clearly there is bias involved, which is sickening seeing a company pump this piece of to lay investors. And of course, this is why Keystone does not take money from any companies under coverage or any companies, period. We are completely independent and our best interest is with our clients. So moving on, just a couple updates here. I already mentioned the share consolidation earlier. But they've also recently been issuing shares around 3 cents per share to get rid of the remaining debt on its balance sheet, as well as making an acquisition of another company, which is how the company got back up to 19 million shares outstanding so quickly. But I'd also like to note that in July, the company appointed a new CEO, Ricky Gorea, And the only thing that I can see from his history is a limousine service business in Vancouver, which is tied to him. I'm not for sure that this is his business, but I believe that he does have some relation to it. And they also got a new CFO. And I thought that it would be interesting to actually look at the CFO that just retired and the companies that he has involvement with or companies that he's actually holding. So, as you can see here, he has involvement with several companies, which are all basically shell companies. And if you look at the actual names and his holdings in these businesses, he basically holds nothing for shares. He really doesn't have any skin in the game. The largest is about $50,000 or even under that US dollars. So he's the CFO at several companies, but he doesn't have any skin in the game at any of them. So I mean, he has left, but still, it's just to show that this company was really set up to take advantage of the kind of health food trend that was going on. Now, finally, I think I've already basically summed it up, but quickly looking at the financial statements, the company put out a news release on August 1st that it was unable to timely report its quarter ended March 31st of 2023. So we are looking at more lagged numbers here, but as I've been hinting at, the company is generating basically no revenue and is losing gobs of money. In the most recent fiscal year, they lost $1.4 million in cash flow and a net loss of $5.3 million with only 187,000 in revenue, which again is nothing. And in a recent press release, the new CEO stated, the research and development phase of NutraBot is well underway, and that's their new AI application. And he says, with a focus on creating user-friendly interface for a seamless experience. While still in the design phase, NutraBot has not yet been finalized or released for download. Barring unforeseen delays, Vegano anticipates an official launch later this year. So the AI portion of their business hasn't even been released yet. So to conclude, at this point, Vegano is an absolute nothing, in my opinion. I would even go against VHLA Media and argue that this stock has limited upside potential with explosive downside potential. Avoid this stock at all costs and do not get convinced to invest in a dumpster fire stock like this by some smooth video by a media company that is getting paid to pump the story.
Yeah, and one would also have to. Looking at this cash flow, they're burning over the last couple of years between 1.5-3 million in cash flow per year. What's the market cap on this company again, Brennan?
I think it's 2 million. So they've got about 19 million
so they're basically
shares.
burning through the market cap on a yearly basis. But yeah, limited downside.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if they're willing to spend tens of thousands on an ad campaign, they're also probably trying to prop their stock up for another equity raise soon as well. So, of course, whatever you own gets diluted by every equity raise. So, if you were to buy shares and say, well, I own like 1% of the company, by the time this company actually produces anything, you're going to own, a fraction of your original percentage of whatever that is. Another thing, when you have a small company, like if you look at venture capital, so when they're talking about venture capital like returns, a venture capitalist, like they want to see momentum of growth, right? So they don't mind if there's not much in terms of revenues. Certainly, like they're willing to accept negative cash flow. That's why they're there, is to plug that hole of cash flow. But what they don't want to see is revenue basically drop off by 50% from one year to another. That's the momentum moving in the other direction. They want to see like, oh yeah, 10,000 revenues the first year, 50,000 the next year, 250 the year after that. They want to see that whatever you're doing is being accepted by the market, right? So if you went to a venture capitalist and you're like, well, our business did 400,000 in 2021, they're like, okay, well, what did you do in 2022? Oh, less than half that. That's
Yeah. No,
right?
exactly.
So So it's not something that I think any venture capitalists would. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just it almost makes me sick to my stomach knowing that companies like a media company out here will just take money and won't care about that end investor who's potentially putting their hard-earned money into a stock like this that is nothing but in my opinion, a pump. It's just it is the unfortunate side of the finance industry, or I hate to see it. But again, it's if you're listening to this podcast, you're already in the right direction. You understand, or you're realizing these are the types of stories that are going to destroy your capital. So yeah, it was an interesting stock to cover on the pod.
I can't wait to see the YouTube comments.
Oh yeah, he's already doesn't understand the technology.
No, you don't understand the potential.
Yeah,
you don't understand the potential.
But for about the first 6 months of the year, the stock was about 2 to 3 cents, and then last month suddenly it starts to pick up price. They're doing all these. The video, it says 7 cents in it. It's now at 12 cents at this time. I think it was 11 cents earlier today.
Yeah.
So people are buying into it. Someone has to be buying into it. Obviously, there's people who, whether it's a media company, whether it's someone else pump and dump type of thing, it's just so questionable when you see it 2 3 cents. Then suddenly, once this media comes in, it's 6 times the price or 5 times the price, depending on your starting point. And additionally, Brendan was saying there's a new CEO. The previous CEO, every single time on your tight share structure, as they got their share compensation in, they instantly sold 80 to 100% of their stock as it came in over and over again. The company isn't really a company. It's just a money printer for the executives of the company, and apparently now ad companies as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. And even looking at the potential of the business, look at the supplement space. It is so competitive, and then how many dime a dozen applications are out there that you put your weight into, put your goals, and then it's going to tell you, kind of what your workout schedule is and what kind of supplements that you should be, going with. I don't know if it's I don't know if that AI would define that this is a revolutionary app. I just,
thing is, they all use AI to some extent.
Exactly.
Every company out there nowadays uses AI to some extent. So
yeah.
And most of it, I would call it more just data analytics. It's not really AI. It's
exactly
not taking a big data set and creating new information. It's just
AI
analytics.
Is not necessarily that amazing of a technology, depending on how you're using it. But there was one very prominent figure in the space who said that you got to look at AI as the next electricity. It's not something, nobody's we have a company that uses electricity. It's like every company uses electricity. It's just part of the way things operate, right? Yeah. And when electricity was first discovered, sure, everybody was saying we use electricity, but now it's just basically a part of everything. And that's the way to look at AI as well. It's not we use AI. It's well, what are you able to do with it? That's what's important, right?
Mm-hmm.